So the acquisition, stage, if I can start uh, with to say that the incoming promoter would like to do a diligence. So let's start with that. There is something called a diligence to be done. Once the diligence is done, then you have what we call a term sheet to be drafted and to be executed, or an agreement to purchase to be executed. Now that binding agreement, once you sign, triggers the takeover code. The takeover code requires that a public announcement to be made. I'm just skipping through some of the steps that have to be followed, um, and straight jumping into what one would require to do in terms of an open up requirement. Once the due diligence has been executed, and there is a, what should I say, an agreement, formal agreement in place between the parties where they have agreed to a price at which they would be concluding the transaction. That is a trigger point where an obligation to make an open offer arises on the part of the acquirer. So they are supposed to make a public announcement on the stock exchanges where the target company is listed. So the company in which the incoming investor is acquiring the shares from the exiting promoter, will call it a target. So the target company, so a public announcement is required to be made on the date when the formal agreement is signed for acquisition of the shares. The public announcement has to be sent to the relevant stock exchanges where the shares of the companies are listed. At the same time, it has to be sent to the SEBI as well. Then a detailed the SEBI regulation requires that a detailed public announcement or public statement needs to be made. So there is a format prescribed under which a public statement is required to be made, and that statement is required to be made within 5 working days. Again, this detailed public statement would of course have the terms and conditions of the public offer, in terms of the terms of offer, that the conditions of the open offer will be mentioned there. The target company will then constitute a independent committee of the directors. They will also have an obligation. The acquirer has an obligation to create an escrow account where they need to put in the money towards the obligation of purchasing the shares that may be tendered pursuant to the open offer. That requires that there should be an escrow account created, and that has to be funded at the relevant point in time. So the condition is that you have to create an escrow account, and then of course a detailed letter of offer is sent out to the sent out. A draft letter of offer is drafted and sent out to the SEBI for their comments. So this draft letter of offer will again have the terms and condition and the manner in which the shareholders can exercise the right to tender the shares in the open offer. There is a prescribed format in which it has to be done. It is sent to SEBI for the vetting. If SEBI gives their comments, those comments have to be incorporated in the final draft of an offer, which we call a letter of offer, before it is issued to the respective shareholders of the target company for the purposes of tendering their shares in the open offer requirement. Once the letter of offer is ready and board has given approval and all that, then it has to be dispatched to the shareholders. It is dispatched to the shareholders whose names are appearing in the register of members on an identified date, which is we call a cutoff date or we call a record date. So that date and yeah, so on the record date or the identified date, they have to be sent. And typically, all these shares will be held in demat form. So there's something called a ban pause, which some of you may be aware, which is provided by the depositories. The registrar or transfer agent of the company will provide that to the acquirer. Then there are other activities that need to be complied with, and after that there is a tendering period is provided. Now the tendering period is the period within which the shareholders have to exercise their right to tender their shares in the open offer. one has to, if I'm a shareholder and I've received the letter of offer from the acquirer, then and if I am interested in tendering my shares in the open offer, I have to exercise that right within that period, which is we call a tender period. That tender period is, of course, the opening and the closing period is mentioned in the draft letter of offer very clearly, and it is within that period that I have to exercise my right to tender the shares. And on once I've tendered the shares, the depositories, and of course, there is a very important intermediaries that I forgot to mention is the merchant banker. It is actually under the SEBI regulation responsibility of the merchant banker to ensure that the acquirer is following all the processes and the procedures, and is responsible for ensuring that the acquirer is complying with all the obligations and the formalities that have been listed out in the SEBI takeover code. And to that effect, merchant banker has a responsibility towards SEBI, and of course they have also liability towards SEBI to ensure that everything is being followed in the open offer is as per the guidelines or the procedures prescribed by SEBI. So the merchant banker then, along with the audit, the other intermediaries decide on whether the shares have been rightfully tendered under the open offer or not. And those which have been rightly tendered are then, kind of acquired by the acquirers by way of transfer into their demat accounts, and the money which is lying in the escrow is transferred to the respective shareholders account whose shares have been validly tendered and accepted in the open offer. So that's, and of course there are filings that need to be done by the merchant banker with the SEBI at the end of the conclusion of the transaction. So that's the broad overview, and after that is done, the primary transaction between the erstwhile promoters or the selling promoters and the incoming promoters can also be simultaneously concluded or maybe concluded up subsequently. So that's the broad, let's say, the overview of the transaction. Of course, there are many important points that one needs to take into consideration, because as I said, this process of open offer is a very time-bound process. There are actually very little flexibility available. Once the obligation triggers in, it has to be followed in the same manner and within the timeline as has been prescribed by SEBI in the takeover code. So one has to be very mindful when they're dealing with acquisition of a listed company, and they should keep their homework ready with all of these compliances. They should be ready with, and the entire process has to be thought through and can't be an afterthought.